What is up, my friends, and welcome to the UFL Week In Review, one of the longest running UFL podcasts in human history. This is show number 34, and we've got a jam-packed final episode for you today. We're recapping the not-so-thrilling UFL Championship title game. We'll discuss the league's ratings, attendance. We'll also getting insights from Daryl Moose Johnston, head of the league's football operation, about what's in store for Season 2. You're not going to want to miss that. Plus, blast from the past. Oliver Luck shares his advice for the UFL in 2025, so stay tuned until that. And we've also got our notes section and we've got your emails. So with all that being said, let's get started.
USFL is in business. The XFL is underway.
There's no doubt spring just got stronger.
The UFL TV ratings are in for the championship game. Of course, you know by now that the San Antonio Brahmas lost to the Birmingham Stallions. And now the three-time USFL, the Stallions are now three-time champions, playing in front of a crowd of 27,396 at the Dome. Wish we could have been there, but we talked about that last week. And we know that they have repeated. So according to Mike Mitchell, the game drew an audience of 1.596 million viewers on Sunday, peaking at 1.732 million viewers from 6:15 to 6:30. And that was a game that just wasn't very interesting at all. Actually, I was watching the game at home. We went to BJ's Brew House with the family, and I was watching it kind of on the big screen. Got my gluten-free Pizookie. I was very happy about that, celebrating Father's Day. The ratings reflected an increase of 38% over the 2023 USFL and XFL championship games, and a significant increase, of course, over the average weekly ratings of 816,000. We got Tom Brady hanging out there. That was kind of a big deal. So it wasn't a good game. Probably would have been a lot more exciting had St. Louis been in it. I told you, I thought the San Antonio Brahmas would come out. They just didn't play well. Birmingham is Birmingham. They're one of the top teams in the league. Clearly, hopefully everybody stays back for next season, but that was kind of the game there. Sports Media Watch had a couple things. So Sunday's game average, of course, 1.6 million viewers, marking it the most watched spring football championship game since the 2001 XFL $1 million game on NBC that drew 2.91 million. So that is pretty dang good, all things considered. I mean, that was definitely a different era back then. So, and I don't think they'll ever beat that. Viewership increased 38% from last year's USFL title game on NBC. Pittsburgh Birmingham got 1.16 million and 11% from last year's championship that I was at, Arlington, DC, that was 1.44 million. So overall, I think the ratings were good. That was the only other spring game title game over the span of the inaugural 2023 USFL championship on Fox, Birmingham, Philadelphia, 1.52 million. Two other spring football efforts, the Alliance and 2020 XFL, of course, ended early. Was the most watched across all spring football games. The UFL Championship was the most watched since the Memphis, Michigan USFL game on NBC last May that had a direct lead-in from the Kentucky Derby, 2.06 million. Wow, that was a lot. Birmingham's shutout with its peak of 1.72 million at 6:15. And then we know about the rest of the stuff there. So that is the just good ratings. Attendance wasn't as great, clearly. And it was hard to tell because, I mean, like I bought tickets, but I wasn't there. But there are the ratings for the UFL championship game. Let us know what you think in the comments. So something that we have been talking to you about over the last couple of weeks is kind of year two. We've already said that year two is going to be happening, that they're going to kind of keep everything status quo. We told you that. Well, Moose Johnston talked to Fox Sports, and this is also on the UFL website. Head of spring football of the head of football league's football operations confirmed that there will be a second season of spring football league that has taken over a life of its own. While there was talk of expansion, year two will feature all 8 teams returning to their home markets as the league works to refine things during the offseason and build a better product in 2025. That's what I told you. I told you that a couple weeks ago, did I not? So that's what's go. There was some rumblings that maybe there was a lot of disappointment with the Memphis Showboats, but dealing how that kind of is situated, that is going to stay in place. There was talk of Orlando and Seattle. There's still chatter about Michigan potentially moving a location. That's really basically will be the only thing, but we haven't heard anything about season tickets before. So that's kind of, everybody's pretty much happy with how things go. And they go through some other things about you know, clearly the play was good. The TV ratings were up. Basically really it just came down to kind of attendance is kind of a thing that they needed to work on. Improving on year two, while the Battlehawks averaged 34,000 fans, the league just 13,512 fans a game this season, which is fell below of the XFL's 14,703 last year. He said, with the home markets, we've got to build that trust there. That's what we're not going to leave. That's where not going to leave, or that league isn't going to fold. We've got a couple cities that historically have been part of spring football. They've committed to a team, and the team has left. We still got built some trust in the home markets. There's no question about that. He also said, I think we were selling tickets for home openers in Houston 7 days out and Michigan 7 days out. Last year was getting the merger complete, getting everything in place. This year, we've already been planning for season 2 of the UFL 9 months out. The league will also continue on innovations that might receive some momentum in the NFL. Of course, they're talking about the true line and the kickoff. And some of the things that the NFL is doing. But the league is coming back, of course, in 2025. We told you that. We told you about that all 8 markets, no expansion for year 2. And it makes sense. We've talked about it a lot at podcasts. But one of the interesting things out there, how about Oliver Luck? Front Office Sports checked in with the former XFL commissioner. And man, 2022, if this league doesn't make it, which I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see about year 2. I mean, if things go down after they had this big runway, it could spell some issues there. Year 2 is going to be really the make or break year. They get a punt for year 1, but it will definitely go down in history that 2020 had it set up ready to just crush, and COVID kind of screwed things up. But they had an expert opinion. So, of course, we know about all the numbers and the viewership, et cetera, et cetera. Fox Sports checked in with Oliver Luck, a guy who was president of the NFL Europe in the 90s and the former World League, played spring games. He said, one of the Luck says you really need deep pockets, acknowledging the spotty history of spring leagues because you're going to lose money year 1, year 2, year 3, probably years 4 and 5. But if finances are right, Luck sees plenty of ways that the NFL could benefit from the rules, technology, broadcast. There's a whole universe out there, potential things that a spring league could serve. But again, if the NFL is not giving the UFL money, then who cares? Don't really care if it's helping the NFL, if the UFL is not benefiting from that relationship financially or otherwise. One change Luck says the UFL should make is its start date, which this year was in late March. I think one of the good things that the XFL did when we started the weekend after the Super Bowl, he said. I always thought that people still had a football mindset going because they were in the football mode. That's something to think about. And I know that has been out there, but I don't think they're going back to that at all. Everything that we've heard is that it's all about either the beginning of March or sticking with this end of March. I like the weather and stuff. Could you go back to the beginning of March? I wouldn't have a problem with that. But if they're going to stick to their guns and say, hey, we're just keeping everything status quo for year 2, really the start date should also kind of fall in line with that. One other thing that he said that was interesting. I thought there was something else he said. That was basically it. He says, but finding a peaceful coexistence will be key for the UFL or any other entity looking. Luck says he met with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell twice during his time with the XFL to talk logistics. That's a fairly intricate dance because we believe, and I'm sure is still the case, that literally everybody who is playing in the XFL in 2020, the goal was to get to the NFL or have an opportunity to go to training camp. Of course, they talk about Jake Bates and some other things, but that was Oliver Luck checking in there. You need to have the finances, and he would move the game back a little bit. One of the other things it was about, so next year, Fox, a broadcast partner, which owns 50% of the UFL, will be making significant adjustments to its spring football TV schedule. They've already talked about that. The network will shift many UFL games from Sundays to Friday nights, Fox Sports CEO Eric Shanks said recently. We've heard that we knew that they were going to do that. We've talked about that the games will be on Friday nights, but talking about many games from Sundays to Fridays. Now, I don't understand why can't ABC have UFL games on Sunday. Like it's not the end of the world there. But I guess it's Saturday ABC's time and Sunday. But anyway, Fox Sports said recently the move will accommodate the incoming IndyCar Series race broadcast, which Fox has acquired the rights to starting in 2025. Clearly, when they talked about all the Friday night stuff, they knew that this IndyCar stuff was coming. This isn't like, oh, we just found out about it. I'm sure they've been talking for months about this and knew that this was going to get kind of locked in. So the games moving to Friday nights, of course, we'll see how that impacts the TV ratings, which have been strong. I think the TV ratings should be okay. And I'm excited to potentially go to some DC Defenders games on Friday night versus Sundays, but we'll see how that goes. So that is going to be some interesting things coming down the pipe with the UFL in 2024. Let us know your thoughts.
Welcome to Pulse AI Solutions, where cutting-edge AI technology meets business innovation. Are you a small to medium-sized business looking to transform your operations and stay ahead of the competition? At Pulse AI Solutions, we specialize in AI consulting, delivering custom solutions tailored to your unique needs. Our team of experts designs and implements AI-driven strategies that boost efficiency and drive growth. From AI integration to tech innovation, we provide comprehensive support every step of the way. Join the revolution. Our custom AI solutions are designed to help businesses like yours thrive in the digital age. Experience the future of business with Pulse AI Solutions. Visit us at pulseaisolutions.com and transform your business today.
All right, we are back. We've got our UFL announced NFL signings on June 18th. So stick around with UFL News Hub, and we'll keep you up to date on all the players being signed. But Arlington's Jalen Redmond signs with the Vikings. DC's Jaron Conley with the Cowboys, and Liam Fortinell, offensive guard for the Patriots. Dawood Davis, Carolina Panthers. Good for him. Jake Bates, of course, signed a 2-year deal with the Detroit Lions. Cole Livallo, New York Jets, offensive line. St. Louis, Willie Harvey, linebacker, Cowboys, and running back Jacob Sailors with the New Giants. So there will be more. But again, a lot of these guys get signed. It doesn't mean that they're going to play next year and cut. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye on that. But this kind of keeps one thing that was people liked a little bit, didn't like about the USFL was the fact that they ended their season in July. Now they're ending it in June. This gives players a chance to rest up before training camps start, but kind of be ready to rock and roll. So we'll keep an eye on that all season long. Congratulations, Darius Victor, named UFL Sportsman of the Year. So he gets bonus there. So it's truly congratulations to him as well. Victor was a regular participant in the USFL's community initiatives, both in Dallas-Fort Worth area and in Memphis. Great player. I really thought he would have a better year, but congratulations to him. He was recognized for his achievements of being a good thing. And finally, with the emails, Rich says, I do not believe you missed anything not going to the championship game. We drove up from Nebraska with a group of people, and the game was hard to watch. One guy in my group really enjoyed the game, but that's only because they were handing out free joints in the tailgating area. For the rest of us, it was just not an exciting game. Here is our question. What is going to take to stop the Stallions? Are the other teams going to be able to step up? I know they will have a draft, but where are these players coming from? We cannot have finishes like this and keep viewers. Always love the podcast and praying for you and your fan. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate the prayers so much. It has been a definite tough season this year, and definitely had my nice little nervous breakdown over the weekend. Just so many things. Like I chipped my tooth, just everything. It's just like, man, keeping these arrows. I think finally, I just think God's got a plan, and I think something big is on the horizon, and the little dark one is trying to throw us off because I've never experienced this many arrows every day. It's something. But I think because we're going to do something big, and, Pulse AI Solutions, I think is a right direction. Focusing not so much on the UFL as kind of like a business thing or a side hustle. It's just kind of a passion project. Not looking to make lots of money off of this thing, which I lost tons of money this year doing it. Hopefully that will change next year. And of course, with the UFL having a runway that they have on the off season, also we have them. So my plan is to take a break. Then you'll hear from me once a month, July, August, September, as we kind of roll through. Plan on trying to go to the showcase in DC. Would love to go to that. I'll be coming back from vacation, so I should be able to make it to that to kind of give you guys an inside take, and plus you kind of meet with everybody, see what the vibe is, and kind of go from there. But now we have an off season, UFL News Hub. I'm going to probably put out a survey because I really want to know, like, what do you guys want from the podcast, a YouTube channel? Do you like the site, the way it looks? Any kind of feedback, just email me, podcast@UFL News Hub, so that I kind of gauge what's people's thoughts process are on. Because I always think of stuff and then I'm like, well, no, I think it's great. And people are like, no, it sucks. Like, do we go back to the old XFL News Hub look? So let me know in the comments when it comes, or let me know the comments and let me know, email me podcast, but we'll have an official survey soon. Gary checks in talking about the number of teams, start date, behind the scenes update that we gave you a long time ago, which was rehab. He says, I agree with Kyle Davidson. I've become an enthusiastic Battlehawks fan, partly because of the loss of the Rams, I suppose. I'm sure that is or at least was the reason there have been so many of us St. Louis following the UFL as much as we have. Expanding to San Diego and Oakland might just be the answer. Both are in the same position as we were in. They feel they've been wronged by the NFL. However, having said that, I'm of the belief that if the UFL wasn't entertaining, St. Louis wouldn't be supporting the UFL like we do, which the games are simply fun. I agree with that. On another note, the UFL definitely needs to step up their PR game. There's very little advertising promotion in St. Louis area and that I've seen to date. With a bit of effort, I believe getting fans out for most of the UFL cities would increase. It's a good product. I agree. 100%, Gary. It is a good product. Now they have that runway of the off season to kind of put things together. So appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys. A big shout out to the writers of UFL News Hub, huh? Make sure you follow them on YouTube, Instagram, follow them on Twitter. Follow them on there. They all just, I just want to thank them personally. Dealing with me, dealing all the crap that's gone on this season. But they have been putting out fantastic articles. We hope to, keep them all back for next year and hopefully build off of that. I mean, some of the guys have gotten opportunities to connect with the league, and those have been good things. And, there were so many great ideas that we had in the 2020 XFL season where we were like, hey, we should have a whole meetup and get all the writers to come out and we'll do this, because the money was flowing and things were looking up. And then what hit, and then the second season. And really I'm trying to figure out, like, all of this effort, and it's not just me, it's across the board. You look at all, like, the YouTubers of UFL stuff, and you look at the content creators, like just people tweeting stuff, it like just doesn't have the juice like it did before. I just think things are so different now than they were. It's amazing before COVID and now. And I think, because of AI, and that's why I pivoted into that space, I think things are going to change even more drastically, though I think things might have slowed down a little bit when it comes to AI stuff, because of lack of power and a lack of chips. That is the only thing that is slowing it down from C-3PO robots roaming the earth, which I think could be coming by the end of the decade. But anyway, so we'll hang out in July. Hey, and I also thank you guys. You guys have been great. Thank you for your prayers about my wife and me. I mean, you guys have been, one of the things that I talked about is I'm disappointed in the traffic to the site, making no money. But, I really love the people that, stop me on the street or send me messages, podcasts at UFL News Hub. Like, you guys have just been great, and I really appreciate you. It's been an interesting year. I would say the first 6 months of 2024 have been probably one of the crappiest of all time in my life. But, I have faith, and God is good, and I think we're moving somewhere where we need to go. And I think the league will be fine in 2025. I think I'm excited about Friday Night Football. Exciting about upgrading my seats for the DC Defenders, and hopefully, my wife will be 100%, and so we can go and travel and come to some cities as long as the site's making money. But we should have advertisers next year. Basically, was trying to get on a new ad network. They have just been, because of everything that's going on. Supposedly, Google search might be coming back a little bit, so we'll just have to kind of play it all by ear. But just lots of change in my life and in the business this year. And I'm just trying to figure out where that wave goes, and we'll go from there. But all right, my friends, as always, God bless. Thank you. And again, shout out to the writers of UFL News Hub. They were fantastic this season. A lot of great content, and I really appreciate the guys. I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It was just it was a crazy season, but you guys stepped up and were great. I really didn't have to, babysit anybody. You guys are just awesome. So I appreciate you guys. And that's it for me. We'll see you in July. As always, God bless, and I will see you all later.